The Premonition, the new movie, but it's so hard being a Sandra Bullock fan. You know, I really like Sandra Bullock. I met her once, I interviewed her, and she was really pleasant. And she started off with While You Were Sleeping, which is a great little movie, and then she did Speed, which is a great movie. And then she got famous enough to make her own decisions as to what kind of movies she wanted to make. And sadly, she decided to make absolute pants from then on. So we had things like Hope Floats, which is rubbish, and Time to Kill, which is rubbish, and Miss Congeniality, and Miss Congeniality 2. And then there was a brief period when it all seemed to be coming back together again, because she co-produced Crash. She has a small role in Crash, which I love. I think it's great. And she's in Infamous, the Superior. Well, what is the film Superior? The film about Truman Capote that's the other one, which got a great performance by Toby Jones in it. Before that, she made this thing, The Lake House, which is a time-travelling movie with Keanu Reeves, right? Fine. The story is they're living in a house together, but they're living in a different time. They can only speak to each other by passing letters through a TARDIS-like letterbox. Yeah? Fine. You with me so far?
I remember all this from last time.
Fine. So now, after the success of The Lake House, we have another sort of time-travelling movie, The Premonition. Sandra Bullock plays somebody who appears to be the perfect wife with a perfect life, wakes up one morning to discover that, oh no, her husband has been killed in a hideous car crash. Wakes up the next morning to discover that he hasn't, because it hasn't happened yet. She wakes up the next morning, he has again. On the fourth or fifth morning, she thinks, you know what, I think I better go and see a shrink. Sadly, the shrink turns out to be played by Peter Stormare. Now, if you are a movie fan or a cult movie fan, you will know that whenever Peter Stormare turns up, things are not going to end well. And it's funny, because you spend about 45 minutes maybe thinking, yeah, go on, it's going to be okay, it's going to work out all right. Basically, all time-travelling movies have one central premise, which is that knowledge of the thing in the future is the thing that causes the thing in the future to happen. This is a sort of structure which is it's the butterfly effect, okay, worked over and over and over again. Okay, that if you travel around in time, your time-travelling affects the path of the thing. And the classic example of this, which are premonition movies, is Don't Look Now, right? The great Don't Look Now, in which the reason that Donald Sutherland comes to a tragic end is that he has a premonition that he's going to come to a tragic end, and as a result of it, and it's beautifully tied up, and it's absolutely marvellous, and it's Nick Roseman is one of the greatest British movies ever made. Don't Look Now, on the one hand, on this hand, you know, don't look, don't bother, because sadly, what happens is you get this sense that actually this may be an interesting film. It may be an interesting way of doing a take, and then it's not an interesting film. It's just that other rubbish Sandra Bullock sub-Hitchcockian, sub-supernatural, boring, turgid nonsense that she keeps making, and it's a real shame. She's accompanied by her husband, who came on the Mayo Show. Your man from Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, that's right.
Him.
He was on.
Complete plank. I mean, there may be
Julian McMahon. I think.
There may be a rule that says that nobody is allowed to be on screen with Sandra Bullock who may actually overshadow Sandra Bullock, and certainly nobody on screen in The Premonition comes anywhere near to it. And she's not even very charismatic in the central role. The worst thing about it is that there is central to the plot a car crash involving a huge truck. And you think, pass me the keys to that huge truck so I can drive it through the holes in the plot. Why didn't somebody just sit down and go, hang about a minute? There's one point when Sandra Bullock sits down and she starts plotting out the timeline of her life so she can figure out how all the days fit together. And you can see her doing it on the screen. And you're thinking, yeah, I can see this thing. And I can already see that it doesn't work and it doesn't make sense. And your reaction on day 3 doesn't match up with your reaction on day 1. And I know how it's going to end. And please surprise me. Oh, no, it's exactly the same film. Premonition, yes, we all knew what it was going to be like before we went in. Sadly, it turned out to be exactly that. Please, Sandra Bullock, make a decent film, because it's so hard to be a Sandra Bullock fan.
This is a